is the iBook author symbol. It looks like this. Let's open it up. You can select from the iBook here, iBook area, what type of book you would like. At the end of the day, you can change the pictures, you can change the layout. This is just giving you a template to work from. So really, you can either select a template that you think really inspires you, or just choose a template that you know you can work with and adapt. So I'm going to go with this floral structures one. So within here, you have the chapters. So you can change the chapter number, you can change the title, you can add pictures, delete pictures, and this is called Lauren Epsom. Basically, it's showing you what the text will look like and where the text will sit. Underneath this, you have sections. Sections are like sub-parts of a chapter. So you might have a section that's to do with quizzes, a section that's to do with a different topic, a section that's got certain lessons in it. You will mostly be looking at chapters and pages. So here is the pages section. If you need to add more, you can go to this section here where you can add new chapter, new section, new pages. As you can see, the default one is blank. So on this one here, you can see there's a line down the middle. If there's a line down the middle, it means they've chosen a 2-column approach. You might do a 1-column approach. You might not want columns in your work. You might have a 3-column approach, or you might just use a blank or a default. The thing to remember, the most important thing when creating this book is consistency. This has to have a style that runs throughout the book. If you choose 2 columns, you choose 2 columns throughout. If you choose at any point not to have 2 columns, there needs to be a really good reason. It needs to bring out a really important, relevant thing. Most books will keep their consistency throughout. So for you to change that, there needs to be a good reason. Not saying you can't, but you need a good reason to do that. Orientation is the way that the book's going to look. Is it going to be landscape, or is it going to be, is it going to be portrait, or is it going to be landscape? You can choose. And also you have the views. At the moment it's thumbnails, which means you get these little thumbnails of what's going on. You can select from here to show invisibles. That means showing where the full stops are, where you've hit return, where there's a space bar. Here, the boundaries, showing you where this is going to be printed out. Rulers, so you can move your boundaries around. The format bars are on the top. I recommend you don't hide that. You have show layout, so how is it going to be laid out on the page. You can have different styles that you can add. Glossary, at the end of the day, for what you're doing at the moment, you probably won't be using a glossary. It's glossary of terms would be at the end of the book saying what kind of terms you've used and giving them definitions. You have book outline, which outlines the book, and you have the page layout. You will do a lot of this in page thumbnails, or I would call it page layout. That's where you would see it in Word. That's what it would look like in Word or Excel. So that is a little look round what the basic of the book looks like. We are now going to, in the next things, talks about how to change the text, how to use the inspector here to change the font type, how to add media, how to add widgets, and finally how to publish. You need to be clear about iAuthor. I mean, iAuthor really gives you very similar to using any bog standard publishing or system that you've used. If you use Word, you'll be used to using File, Edit, Insert. Yes, what's underneath here is different, but what I want you to do is make sure you be able to read, have a think, what would be under File, what would be under Edit, so that when you get stuck, you can find that these will help you. The help is very intuitive. If I type something that I'm stuck with, so for example, I want to look at font, and it's show fonts, it will then pinpoint how to show fonts. So the help is really, really, really useful here, and it's something that's worth using. So that's it for this section. See you soon.